Joe drilling.
That's me, I think. Am I on an auction block?
Yeah.
Do I have Joe drilling? Do I have Joe drilling? Do I have Joe drilling going once? Go drilling.
Unfortunately, there were no bids, so we're taking you back and putting you back in the warehouse.
Fuck.
Yeah, so this is Genesis or Genesis. I play a Genesis game. I've played a lot of Genesis games now. I'm a fucking expert, so now I'm one of the premier people whose opinion matters the most when it comes to Genesis games. I used to be someone who hadn't played a lot of Genesis games, but
But now you're someone who is.
right. I'm nearing 60 now, so tonight I'm playing a game suggested to me by a fan of the show named Joe Drilling. It's called Midnight Resistance. This game looks an awful lot like a certain Nintendo game that I happen to have insider information that Joe is a big fan of. It's a side-scrolling shooter called Super C.
I do like that game.
Yeah, that game's like. Okay. Anyway,
it's almost as good as a different NES game.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks a little bit like Contra.
So the reason that I picked this
Does
game
it have like an
tonight,
auto fire or something?
there are options. There are some options, which is part of what I was about to get to.
Oh, okay.
So the reason that I chose this game is because in the arcade, this was a game that featured a rotary joystick.
Oh.
Which, if you are not familiar, but I know you are, Eric, but anybody watching this, if you're not familiar, rotary joystick, games like Ikari Warriors had a rotary joystick, Guerrilla War had a rotary, a lot of SNK games had a rotary joystick. And what it was is the actual, as the name implies, the actual joystick itself turned, so it twisted in the cabinet. And that's how you aimed in a lot of these games. And so rather than do like a dual stick setup like Robotron or Smash TV, you would twist the joystick to aim, and then you still had buttons to shoot and jump. And this port handles that in a variety of ways. So you can go into the options menu, and if you hate what you're doing now, you may want to go into the options menu and change change the way you have it set up.
Okay.
But the reason that I chose that is because recently there was news that Frank Cifaldi posted on Twitter that the SNK Switch collection that's coming out in November that Digital Eclipse is working on, they found a way to code the rotary joystick into the right analog stick, which had previously not been done. Yeah, it previously had not been done for rotary joystick games. They found another way. They found other ways around it. And this game, I think the way I usually do it is sort of a Forgotten Worlds-esque thing where two buttons turn you, one button goes clockwise and one goes counterclockwise, I think, is an option, and then you're just like shooting automatically all the time, which I think
this one has on and off, and I can only turn one direction.
Or yeah, it's on and off. Okay. Yeah, so there's one where it's like A turns counterclockwise, and C turns clockwise, and B jumps or something, and you're just firing all the time, I think is maybe one of the options. But Capcom had some spinner games that use a spinner, which is not quite the same as rotary joystick, which is like Forgotten Worlds, and the Capcom Classics collections used just the second joystick for that. But a lot of like this game, the arcade version of this game is in the Data East collection for the Wii, and I believe you cannot use the right joystick as a stand-in for the rotary. You have to set it to some weird button combination to get it to work. So yeah, that's just I'm very excited for this SNK collection that's coming out for the Switch in November. It's got
sounds like they're at least putting some work into it to make
yeah.
What do I want? Full auto, 3-way, fire,
probably
bullet, nitro, barrier.
I would go with the fire.
Okay. Do I only get one?
You have to use keys. So those keys you've been picking up, each of these has 2 locks. Well, you grab those, you knock those bullets down, so grab them.
What do those do?
I think it just gives you more ammo for your special.
Oh, I didn't even realize I had ammo. Okay. Is there a way to change guns?
I think you just pick up a different one, but okay. I think you lose the one you have then.
I see.
So you should grab the barrier, I guess.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of effort. I mean, Digital Eclipse has been doing great work since they sort of relaunched or rebranded, or however you want to put it, the Disney Afternoon Collection, the first Mega Man Legacy Collection, the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. That stuff's all been really high quality.
Okay, so every time I tap the B button, it changes the direction that the gun spins in this control mode.
I don't know. Let's see. So Frank Cifaldi's particular tweet, which was back in June actually, so this isn't super timely, I guess, but we've been hard at work on SNK 40th, a compilation of SNK's criminally underlooked output from the days before the Neo Geo. I wanted to show off something I'm incredibly proud of. We managed to force all the rotary games to work as twin stick. Let me explain how cool this is. If you've never played a real cabinet, several SNK games, Ikari 1 through 3, Guerrilla War, TNK 3, etc., use a special rotary joystick. You'd tilt the stick as usual to move your character around, but you'd twist it to aim the direction your character is facing. This isn't a solvable problem with modern controllers. In the past, the best we could do is map buttons to rotate clockwise and counterclockwise, which doesn't work very well. This is how MAME, PlayStation Minis, SNK Classics, Zero, etc. handled these. With a rotary knob, you can easily muscle memory pointing the characters exactly where you want them. You feel each click of the rotation, so you can point wherever you want to instantly. With rotation buttons, it's nearly impossible to do that.
The way that this game is building this level is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Because it's like pausing the action and then drawing the next screen underneath me instead of like smoothly scrolling it down, which I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah, that's really weird. I don't remember who did this port. I want to say Opera House, maybe? I'll have to double check in a second. Alright, so now we're forcing the games to point your character where you're pointing the right stick. Technically, this changes them and makes them a little easier, but it's truer to the original intent. You can point where you want and shoot without
shit, I thought the thing was dead.
Not so, my friend, not so.
Tricky tank. Where am I supposed to be shooting it now? Oh, come on. I think I was supposed to be shooting the sides of it.
Yeah, I think it goes to the sides after the center.
That's right, three-way.
I genuinely believe the reason SNK fans don't talk about these games is because there hasn't ever been a way to comfortably play them at home until
Take
now.
a shower. Oh, I don't have any more keys.
I'll stack Guerrilla War and Ikari against some of the later Neo Geo classics any day. Bold statement, Frank. Bold statement. Now, if someone were to make a modern game controllers that replace the dual analog
Is it a bold statement?
with the...
Ikari Warriors is a very good video game.
That's true. Well,
even
the
if I
arcade
haven't
version
played
is.
all of them, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The NES version's all right.
It's
all right.
Is it?
It's all right.
All right is about as far as I'll go.
All right. The arcade version is a great game, though.
If someone were to make modern game controllers that replace dual analog with dual 8-way Neo Geo pocket clicky sticks, these games would feel absolutely perfect. Yes, true. I love those sticks. Those clicky sticks, they're great.
Ugh. Ah.
So, anyways, that was what sort of spurred this this selection for this evening. Oh, that's right. I was going to check who did this port. Let's see what Movie Game says.
Yeah, playing this with a second analog stick would be much easier than what I'm trying to do right now.
Oh, let's see here. Midnight Resistance. Yeah, I was right. Opera House did this port, which they did pretty. They were very closely tied to Data East back in the day. They also did the port of Captain America and the Avengers to the Genesis, and Two Crude Dudes.
It's a game about me and you. That's us. We're the Crude
That's
Dudes.
right. That's right. Apparently they did the... I'm going to guess the... No? Oh, the TurboGrafx port of the original Shin Megami Tensei was done by Opera House.
Okay.
So So there you go. So yeah, I just recently built an arcade stick that I'm really happy with, but I had previously always flirted with the idea of building an arcade stick with a rotary joystick, but they're so expensive to get a hold of and build into a stick and get them to recognize the right way. And you have to like do some weird hacky nonsense with MAME to actually get them to work. So, you know, it's just take a shower.
Can't. I don't have enough keys. Nope. Fuck. I had it for a minute, but I have totally lost it now.
The feel of rotating?
Yeah, I think it's just like the fire thing is just a lot easier to...
Have you tried all the options? Do you want me to look at... It doesn't say what they actually are, does it? It just gives you like a letter,
yeah,
right?
It says A. A was the first one I tried.
See if GameFAQs will actually tell us what they are.
Where you could kind of only shoot in the direction you were facing, which was not really a good solution.
Yeah, that's like the least good.
Well, it's fine when you're running around in a level, but it's really not usable when you try and duck because you can't aim while you're laying on the ground.
Well, I got a level skip code here.
Okay. Let's back out. Let me try one of the other options. Let's see. Let's try B2. Let's see what that's all about. Yeah. How do I skip levels so I don't have to play the first one again?
Okay, let's see. When you're at the title screen, highlight Start Game, then hold C and press Start. Next, at any time during gameplay, pause the game and press A to go to the next level. That's the easiest level skip code in the history of video games.
What is it? Then press what?
Highlight Start Game, then hold C and press Start. And then anytime during gameplay, just pause and press A and you'll skip to the next stage.
Okay, hang on. Let's see here.
Looking for a manual scan
Hold
now.
C, press Start.
And then pause and press A.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I don't get my weapon, though.
Yeah. Let's see here. Press A button. Press to begin firing. Press again to cease fire. Okay.
I don't really know what's different about this one compared to the other one. Oh, okay. This one, it doesn't change. The rotation is always the same on this one.
There are 4 arrangements to choose from. Try all of them and find the one that suits you. Control Mode A is the best arrangement for beginners. In Control Mode A, hold down button B to fire in one direction only.
Yep.
Button B controls the direction of your fire in control modes B1, B2, and B3. The direction of your weapon's rotation is as follows: alternating clockwise and counterclockwise B1, clockwise B2, and counterclockwise B3. Note, Control Mode A is best for beginners.
Well, I guess maybe I'm using the wrong control mode.
So B1, when you hit it, you go. If you hit it and hold it, you'll go clockwise, and then if you lift up and hit it and hold it, you'll go.
Yeah, that's the one I was just using. This is.
And then the other two just lock it to one direction, which seems not.
This is not ideal. No. I definitely liked the other one more than this.
So Control Mode A seems like.
Also, switching constantly is probably not helping me at all.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't, like, I would have. I would have probably done something like.
Yeah, like one button rotates you clockwise and one...
Right, yeah. Up, have an option where up is jump, and then like A rotates counterclockwise, and C
or honestly,
rotates
like,
clockwise.
Up would be better. I think I would go up would be the turn gun off, turn gun on button. Because I still would prefer, like me personally,
and then B
jump,
B would jump, and A and C would rotate your automatically firing weapon.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Although either of those, just any option where you could rotate the gun as you chose to would be nice. Ugh.
Johnny Ford was the government's ace NCA, Narcotics Control Agency, operative for 15 years.
Nice.
He personally foiled countless attempts by South American drug cartels to transport more of their deadly wares to the civilized world. Johnny's father, Dr. Malcolm Ford, had spent that same time researching a serum that would break people's addiction to lethal drugs. He had it tested successfully on laboratory rats and was in the process of making it safe for use by human beings.
It's pretty damn difficult to to get a shotgun. Let's try that. It's pretty damn difficult to get an addiction to lethal drugs because
they kill you.
Yeah, you would think a lethal drug probably would just kill you.
The father-son team worked to combat the killer plague known as drug abuse. The Crimson King, head of the most powerful cartel.
Made in the 80s?
Let's see here.
Yes, the answer is yes.
1980 arcade version, 1980. Oh, I thought this was Data East. Well, sorry, it was published by Data East, but no, wait. No, it was okay. Never mind. It was Data East. There's an ad on the back of the manual for Twin Cobra, which was a Toaplan game.
Yes.
That was so. But yes, this was a Data East game. Where was I? But
something lethal drugs.
1991.
1980s.
Yeah.
91, really?
91.
Was it when the arcade version came out?
It just says copyright Data East Corp 1991.
Wow.
So the arcade version probably did come out in 90 or 80, 89 or 90, I would guess. The Crimson King, head of the most powerful cartel, had maintained surveillance on the outspoken doctor and constantly worried about what he might be researching. When his own agents sent word that they believed Dr. Ford had developed a vaccine that could all but eliminate addiction to drugs, the King wasted no time taking action. Johnny returned home after completing what was supposed to have been his last mission, only to find an empty house. There were signs of a struggle, and he found a note on the table. You and your father have caused me no end of trouble. I could not sit back and watch the two of you toppled my empire. I read that correctly. It said toppled my empire. You'll notice that some of the things are missing from your lovely home. Come and get them, if you dare. Johnny immediately started for the tropical island called Matano. He knew the Crimson King's organization inside and out, and he knew that this was where his family was being held.
Wait.
The Crimson King didn't want to hide
he had a
from
family?
Johnny.
It just said his home was empty.
He had a dad. His dad, Dr. Malcolm Ford.
Oh, okay, I see. This USB port is
his home was empty because his family wasn't there.
Right. I just said that. He wanted to lure him into a trap from which there was no escape, guide Johnny into the vast complex with its fiercely loyal soldiers and nightmarish machinery, and rescue his family. The King has made a major mistake. Help Johnny make him pay. Now, I believe there were two Johnnies in the arcade version, if memory serves.
Two Johnnies?
I think there were two Johnnies.
Make sure there weren't five Johnnies.
Yes, but only the first four were alive until Lightning.
The last one was a robot of some kind.
Yeah, the last one was a robot. Yeah, I believe this is one of those games that was two-player in the arcade, and unfortunately got cut down. This came out on the Genesis the same year that Contra 3 came out on the Super NES. Think about that for a second.
Well,
I mean, for all I know, this might have come out in like January of 1991
I don't think that
on the Genesis.
Let's grab a gun here. All right, let's try shotgun again. And then I'm going to skip levels here. Let's try this out. Oops.
I thought you said the shotgun was a bad choice.
It was a bad choice in that last level because I was being swarmed by jetpack assholes. But whoa, these guys are just running.
Look at that dithered waterfall.
Isn't that redundant? Jetpack assholes.
Yeah, anybody with a jetpack is automatically an asshole. Whoa. Yeah, this
Y signal says yeah. Y signal says yes. Disassemble? Question mark. Sure.
That's a... It's a reference to that thing we were referencing.
Which thing were we referencing?
Johnny 5.
Oh, Short Circuit. Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. Johnny 5
Come on,
is
Joe.
alive. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I think the only thing I really remember from it is Los Locos kick your ass, Los Locos kick your face, Los Locos kick your balls into outer space. I think that's the sum total of my memories of Short Circuit.
It might be the only thing worth remembering from that whole movie, honestly.
So, how are you feeling about Midnight Resistance? We're coming up on like the 25-minute mark here.
Are we? I don't know. It's okay. It's a real struggle to play these games, especially this way. I would like to just check out the port that takes into account 2 sticks.
Right,
and also, I feel like it might run a little game. This game like runs kind of shitty. Like, and it just doesn't have like just this run animation is kind of. It's like 2 frames, but it's also stretched out really long.
Well, it's so weird because his torso rotates with how you're aiming, so his chest doesn't move when he runs,
right?
But his legs are moving.
Yeah, but there's only like 3. There's still only like 3 frames of animation in that run animation.
Yeah, but I actually just watched a video about like animation keyframes in video in like classic video games, and Mega Man's run cycle only has 3 frames.
Yeah, but it cycles a lot faster than this guy's does.
Right.
So it looks a lot smoother. This
modeled
looks
on Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
Yeah.
He splits all the time.
Yeah.
And his upper body is separate from his lower body.
I think this game would be way more awesome if this guy was modeled on Jean-Claude.
I wonder. I would like to play the arcade game just to see if this is just slowed way down to account for the fact that it's such a pain in the ass to rotate the gun.
Do you have MAME set up on your computer? Because you could do that.
Okay. I don't. I can never get MAME to actually work properly. And it's
so
like, literally everybody plays MAME, and I just for whatever reason I can never get it to work.
I would recommend downloading one that's got like a GUI that someone made for it.
I've got GUI.
Okay. I use
I really liked that
MAME UI 64.
I really liked what the fuck was I gonna say?
Also, you could try Final Burn Alpha, but I don't know if Final Burn Alpha runs Data East games or not. Final Burn Alpha is a pretty good emulator, but I know it does like Neo Geo and Capcom CPS 1 and 2 games pretty well, but I'm not sure. And it does Sega boards because it's called Final Burn Alpha because it was originally started development as a kit just to run Afterburner.
I do really like that every time you enter a level, it's by exploding a door.
Yeah, via exploding door, of course.
That's how I'm going to enter all rooms from now on.
So is it that MAME doesn't work, or is it that when you try to run a ROM, it says like shit is missing from the ROM set or something like that?
Why did that wall move? What the
fuck? That's amazing.
It's a secret lair. Everybody's got a secret lair.
Yeah, but usually like stone wall. I don't know, whatever. Also, now I'm being attacked by just some gears.
Well, you're in a war, so does that mean those are
nope? Come back, wall.
Years
You're gonna get away from me this time. Yeah.
How many shitloads of them?
10 shitloads.
10 shitloads.
How do I use my bomb thing? How do I take my shower?
Apparently up.
Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. I missed the fire. I don't think I've been offered the fire gun since the first level, but that was definitely my favorite. Just because it's kind of like a beam of death, and it sort of helps make up for the fact that the aiming is kind of janked out. Well, this is pretty difficult. Let me tell you.
Crawling on the ground.
Oh no! Oh, that one. Oh, that gray one will spin and hit you, I guess.
You could use your shower if you're.
That guy has abs of steel, man. He can do that.
How many? Oh, I can do it lots of times. I didn't realize you get like 50 of them.
Yeah, you have 47 remaining. While these store brand like Cobra soldiers come
these
after
fucking
you.
ninja guys are just like crawling on the ground.
It's like the evil genius can't afford anything but like knockoff shitty jumpsuits.
Well, you know, he's keeping all his drug profits to himself.
Fuck.
Apparently, the Crimson King is keeping all of the
I'm gonna say
drug profits to himself.
You could probably pass. Like, this game's okay. I could see where the playing it in its proper context, it's probably quite a bit better. But between the kind of pain in the ass aiming system, especially since, like I said, even if there was just like, if up turned your gun on and off, and you had 2 buttons to rotate, I think, isn't that what Forbidden Worlds was like that, right? Forgotten Worlds.
But you don't have to jump in Forgotten Worlds.
That's true. That's right. It's a shooter. I don't know. It would be better with the proper controls, and also, it's kind of slow and weird. But I think if you were playing a sped up version with a proper controller, it would be quite good. But I think you could probably pass. You could probably pass on this. I'll say Genesisn't worth playing, but it's definitely like it's near the top of the isn't pile. I'll say it's interesting, but pushing one button to rotate in 2 directions and trying to keep track of all that is not great. Especially when the enemies are just swarming you, it can be pretty can lead to some pretty heavy moments of indecision or just frustration when the gun is turning the wrong direction, as the easiest person in the world to kill is running towards you. He doesn't even have a knife. It's just a guy in a jumpsuit, but he gets you because you can't fucking turn your gun back the other direction. Anyway, that's it for tonight.
Store-brand Cobra Soldiers. Yeah.
We'll be back again sometime, probably.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Bye-bye.